From director to TV host to chief content and creative officer for EssenceMagazine, Moana Luu proved to young women that anything is possible. This is her Caribbean dream.
Moana, on behalf of Tempo Networks, I would first like to say thank you for having us at Essence in your office today.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's actually this is my first Caribbean focus interview, and I'm so thrilled because since I arrived at Essence, my main focus has been to bring like Black women as one global community that actually are from Africa, but as well from the Caribbean. And so it's important for me to be still part of the Caribbean life and to show to the young ladies in the Caribbean that actually they can make it anywhere.
Definitely. Well, you are today the chief content, you are the creative director of Essence,
Yeah.
but it all started somewhere, the foundation of Moana Luu. Where is it?
Everything. I come from Martinique.
Yes.
I'm an island. I love to say that I'm an island girl. And in a way, Manhattan is an island. So I still am an island girl. And I believe as well that I will not be here where I am now and in my position if I was not an island girl. Because when you are from the Caribbean, you have this multicultural aspect in your life because we speak French, we speak English, we speak Creole. We understand Latina culture, we understand African culture, we understand American culture. And this mix make us so special that actually we can make it anywhere.
So Martinique, for those who don't know, where is Martinique? How is Martinique? How does it feel?
Martinique is a French Caribbean island. I love to say that it's a sister island of St. Lucia because we're just next to St. Lucia. And 15 minutes flight from St. Lucia, and is a sister island as well from Dominica and Guadeloupe. That is as well a French island. Where you're from?
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's paradise. It's just paradise. It's a mix of course we are French colony, so you have this European and French culture, but you have the Creole feel in it and the quality of life that you have in the Caribbean. And always I say, when I see what happened in the world, because sometimes you can feel the pressure. And I'm like, finally, the best place is the Caribbean.
Amen.
because we are safe there. Nothing is happening. We have a good life. And the joy that we have every day in living, the family and values that we share, it's so special that we are in a very good place.
So today we're in New York, but I would love to know about Moana. The little girl was growing up in Martinique. Which city in Martinique? Was it Fort-de-France?
Yes, I'm 100% from Fort-de-France, the capital of Martinique, and I love Fort-de-France. So basically, a few years ago, when I grew up there, Fort-de-France was kind of a whole city, but with a rich culture because Aimé Césaire is from Fort-de-France. And so it's about intellectuals. But I did believe in really the architecture and the design and we can actually grow. So I did invest very soon in Fort-de-France, and I have a place in Fort-de-France. And now Fort-de-France is trendy.
Yes,
and I'm like, you see, this is a trendy place. So I grew up in a very cultural environment there. My father was like, I was living with dancers, comedians, so it was all about culture. So my father was one of the first movie directors in the French Caribbean, and so I grew up in a household that was 100% cultural focus. So we have movie directors, comedians, dancers, and I will always remember, like one night I wake up like late night, and we were living in an old colonial house, and it was maybe midnight, I don't remember because I was like about 6 or 5. And there, my parents had a huge party with dancers jumping around. And I was like, okay, I just came in with my leggings and dancing shoes and I was ready to go back. And they were like, okay. And it's been one of the main focus that my parents, when I did grow up, was about sharing the culture, the happiness, the joy, and everybody can come home. You always have food for everybody. We always have a bed for anybody. And I still continue. My husband is sometimes annoyed by that because I'm always like, my friends are like, come over and stay a month. It's fine.
That's very Caribbean. So this is open.
Yes, it's always, my door is always open for my friends. And I did grow up in this environment. And so right away, I did feel that I need to study hard. So I focused I focused the first part of my life around art, but I did see as well the difficulties of living for an artist. True. So I was like, okay, I want to be an artist, but I want to make money.
Oh, that's good. You knew what you wanted, so that's good to know.
I want to make a business of art. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an art director.
And that was in high school, or that was in college?
That was in college. So I was like, and so I did focus on how to make art something accessible and make business of it. And so right away, I did feel like this mix of art and business was a good combination. And I've been doing many things, from TV to fashion modeling there, and I represent my island in Miss World pageants. Yes, sometimes like it always came back to you when you do Miss World. We're like, okay, yes, I was Miss Martinique in 2005. Yes, I competed in Miss World, and that changed my perspective. When I did Miss World was in China, Sanya. I discovered Asia, and I was like, okay, this is maybe my spot, my area, because I was feeling like in the Caribbean. I was
also people see Asia such different so far,
and I love to say I was in the Philippines, and I was like, this is the Caribbean of Asia. You know, because Philippines is a Spanish colony with Asian culture, and so this mix, and the American culture too, this mix, I was feeling like home. So
how long did you spend in Asia?
A long time. I think between 3 or 4 years. Oh, wow. Yes. And after that, I was like, okay, what's next?
I know growing up in the Caribbean, we're very big in families influence our choices a lot. We always have like an auntie or grandma, mamie ou tati who always tell you, be careful, don't do this, ne parle pas au garçon, fais ci, fais ça. Do you have that special someone that always gives you those advice, those little proverbs or motto of life? I'm
very close with my mom. I'm very close with my grandmother. Actually, we have a lot of strong women in my family. So I'm always calling them, like maybe too much. And so, but in the way, my parents was so free. At a time that people were not free yet.
I was about to say, sometime in the Caribbean, you still have, it's very strict, you know,
so
uniform and everything.
When I was young, like maybe 17, 18, like 2 years ago.
Of course. Something, went to high school yesterday.
Yes. Well, everybody in my family that was conservative in a way, not my parents, but some of side of my family were like, okay, she's gonna be a bad girl. She's too free. She can go out when she wants. She can do what she wants. And I was like, my parents were like, no, let her live her life. Try. She needs to try. If she cannot be successful if she's not trying. And finally, actually, I'm the one who made it. So they were like, at the end of the day, they were like, okay, finally, to be free and open-minded was a way to succeed. But I will always remember, my grandmother passed away a few years ago, but even a few years ago, she was asking me, what are you doing in life? And I was trying to explain to her, I was like, you know, you should contact your cousin. He works in an administration. He can help you.
She want you to have the job, you know, to at the bank.
I was like, Grandma, it's fine.
It's interesting. No, it's interesting to see the two different generations because it's a different mindset. Before, you had to start working at 18 years old and until you retire at 60, and it's the same job because it's security. You can have a family and a house. But you were the opposite.
Really, and as well, in the Occidental life, really did a great job for Caribbean people to do believe that they cannot be an entrepreneur.
That is true.
So they did a great job to that, and my parent was totally the opposite. He was like, you need to create your own business. And actually, when I look at back my career, they always create a job for me, something that's not being done before. Even different. Today at Essence, before at Essence, they used to have an editor-in-chief. And they create this position for me because it's more than an editor-in-chief, because I'm doing video and TV, I'm doing podcast, I'm doing the magazine, I'm doing Essence.com with a creative vision to it. So we did create and you cannot find this position in any other media company. And all the time, this is what happened, they create a position for me. And because you don't need to fit in a box.
That is true.
You can create your box. When I was in Philippines at the time, a cosmetic brand called Activin Paris contacted me, and they was like, we know what you're doing, and we want to rebrand our company and campaign, product design and everything, and we do believe that you can do it. Can you move to Paris? And I was like, okay, yes. Why not? And yes. It's always been, my motto changed, but at the time my motto was like, life is a party.
Life is a party, okay, la vie est une fête.
Yeah. So I was like always ready to go, and I moved there, and the experience that doing product design and rebrand a full really like big company was something very incredible, because this was really the point to mix the business and the creative side. And after that, I was like, okay. So I done that. It was like, oh, can you expand to the US? I'm like, here you go. I'm in New York.
Well, you bringing us to the next segment of Caribbean Dream. So I'm Jessy Schuster, and you're watching Caribbean Dream on Tempo Networks.
This episode of Caribbean Dream is brought to you by Dasani. Hydrate your body, hydrate your mind.
We are going to talk about your career. Very atypical childhood that you have in the Caribbean, because a lot of time it's stricter in a sense, and the outside of the box type of thinking, it's not for everyone, where you had the chance to have this and the support of your family. Today you are at this position at Essence. How did the opportunity to work here emerge?
You know, this is very interesting because I've been doing so much things in my career, from designing hotels to designing cosmetic products to doing like TV channels, radio stations.
Modeling as well.
Modeling to, and in a way, Essence is everything that I've done in just one place. I'm doing video, I'm doing a magazine, I'm doing digital. It's everything that I've dreamed of. And as well, the event side of it. Events is so important in the Caribbean because we live with the carnival, we live with the culture of having like music festival, music performance, art. So, and to be at Essence with the Essence Festival, that is the biggest festival in the US with 500,000 people showing up in New Orleans. I was like, I will always remember my first day, my first week. And they had this meeting about Essence Festival, and they were like, who do you want to see? And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, what do you like? So we can have this celebrity, how many songs do you want? I was like, this is serious? I was like, I want all the songs.
This is my list.
I want all the songs. I want everything. And my very first week, that was the Michelle Obama cover closing. So I was like, okay, that's a good way to start. So Michelle was like, so
that was October of 2018.
Yes, we were like closing the December cover that was Michelle Obama. And so this is true that my career has been so eclectic. And in a way, I did find my space and share the stories. This is true that when I know that people are very they judge when you do like beauty pageants and things like that. And I was like, no, actually to do the beauty pageant was first the opportunity to meet people from all around the globe, to have a real international stage experience, and really to help young women actually to grow. And with Essence, I'm doing that every day. To be in a media with a purpose and telling the story of all those women and help me uplifting women, showing what the talent, everything that they do, that from the fashion to the business to the everyday woman, what they're doing, and when it's extraordinary, I can showcase it with Essence. So I did find my purpose a long time ago, and it's continuing now with Essence.
I'm a black woman. We're impeccable. We are impeccable. We're special, and the world is going to have to deal with that.
You know, in the Caribbean, we are also known as, we have beautiful women, as you say, for the pageant, from entrepreneur. It's known for that as well. How do you incorporate your Caribbean roots into Essence today? I know it's supposed to be targeted for black women, but in the Caribbean, a Caribbean woman is not necessarily black. You have white Caribbean women, we have Chinese Caribbean women, we have Latin Caribbean women. How do you incorporate all of this?
First, I would love to say, so this is something that right away when I arrived at Essence, so before I was at Trace,
yes.
That is the #1 leading media company in Africa with TV channels focused on music. So I did discover as well the African culture. So when I arrived at Essence, actually, I was like, okay, I know that it's a magazine for African American, but in the US, we have the diaspora from the Caribbean. Yes. The Asian community is like, it's so huge. Mm-hmm. You have as well the diasporas from Africa. And I was like, we need to talk to every woman. So my first goal was to talk to every woman. And you can see it right away when I start to choose the covers and the women in the magazine. The first magazine that I really been doing was Black Women Hollywood, mm-hmm. with Kiki Lane, Amanda, with Jennifer Lewis. And the first thing that I said, okay, this is great to have Hollywood, but what about Nollywood? Mm-hmm. Because this is the biggest black movie industry in the world. So right away, I did integrate some Nollywood and even some French actress like Aïssa Maga. So I did integrate right away like this diaspora aspect of what is the black woman. But moreover, it's like after that, when I did the cover with Issa Rae, yes. People don't know about it, but it's 100% Creole inspired.
I noticed. I noticed.
We shot in New Orleans, yes. With a carnival team. I'm a big carnival.
Oh, we have to come back to this. Yes.
I'm a big carnival person. So it's a carnival team. And the goal for the cover was for her to look like a Creole woman. So I asked to do this white, like headband, white, with this dress that looks
great. The braid as well.
Braid, to have this Creole feeling to it. And when I see the success of this cover, for me that was a proof that we can actually, with our culture, mm-hmm. show that we can be international. And it can be a success and international. So every day in the magazine, I'm adding those layers. If you look at this issue, that is a June issue with Alicia Keys on the cover, yes. You have so much page about the Caribbean. We've been to Grenada with Amanda Sealis, and we've been shooting in Grenada with Yvette Noel Shows, that is actually Beyoncé publicist. Yes. And this is another way to show the Caribbean, as well in terms of video. And I swear that was not in purpose, but our first video was about Martinique. That was about Martinique, and it's called Essence Escape. So I'm trying to bring to the States the Caribbean love. So good morning, everybody. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you?
So this is a great day. We are working our September issue, our first premium 160 page of work for September, full fashion. And so I was going to be with our fashion director, Mayel. What's the mission for this fashion issue?
Well, we have tons of exciting content. We have a feature coming up with one of the stars of Queen and Slim, which we're super excited about. Melina Mitsuka's new film with Lena Waithe that's coming out. So
she's very excited because we just have an exclusive with the video. We've seen it yesterday, and the movie is so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge. And
but it's gonna be huge. Really, it's like I've never been excited with a movie like this. Really, it's like it's about the regular car pullover police officer, and this is just the beginning. This is amazing. This is a Bonnie and Clyde story.
Yeah, it's like a modern day.
Yes.
Which film? What's it called?
Queen and Slim. It's Melina Matsukas and Lena Waithe.
So we are so excited to have that in book for September. So it's
Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. And we're getting them early, so the film comes out in November, so we're super excited to feature them in September. Jodie is like a burgeoning style icon. She was all over Paris and she's at all the shows, so it's super exciting to get her for September.
So how does it work from day-to-day routine? So you have sometimes celebrity come here, politicians, so they come, so they do photo shoot here. Do you meet them personally?
Yes, actually this is very interesting because, and this is something that is very specific to the Caribbean people. We are not such big fan of celebrities. This is our culture. We are feeling all stars. So when a celebrity come in, we just like, yeah, it's fine. We're happy for you, but it's fine.
Yes.
So basically we have daily celebrities coming to the office and we are just cool and chill.
I heard Shaggy from Jamaica was there a couple of days
Shaggy
ago.
was just there like 2 days ago. I didn't even take a picture. We spoke and I was like, I didn't think about taking a picture. And because we have so many celebrities coming over and actually is coming to the festival too. So I was like, we will have time. But this is true that politics, actors, musicians, everybody, they always come to Essence. And this is what is very interesting as well. And you see the power of the brand. Is like we are in Brooklyn. We are not in Manhattan. But they are coming over to see us. Because you know that if you want to talk to Black women, you want to talk with Essence, so you need to come over. So yeah, so my day-to-day thing is like I meet celebrity, but really is building this platform, building this brand, creating this new magazine, because this is the 50 years of Essence is a real transition for the brand, and to make it more digital, more interactive, I just launched a concept that never been done in a mass media company before. All my covers are coming with a podcast. So when you can read the story in book, that is a 5 to 6 pages, you can actually listen a 30 minutes interview with the voice of the person on the cover.
And you have over 2 million people who listen to it.
Actually, we have 2.7 million people that actually on our podcast. So yes, it's quite a success, and this is true that we launched a concept with Puff Daddy and his 2 girls.
He was on the cover a couple of months ago.
Yes, he was on the cover for Mother's Day, and that changed everything, and everybody wanted to listen to it. So I really do believe about this very focused audience that for the podcast, they are listening to you. What I love to do when I'm waking up, so basically I live in Midtown, so when I'm waking up, I will always put a podcast on to be inspired, to start my day. And like this, when you're doing your makeup, getting ready, you can listen.
You can spend a little time with Didi, for example.
Exactly. And I think every woman actually now is doing that. This is the moment, the key moment where you can actually you get ready and you can listen. You cannot watch. It's why I know that video is very important, but at this very specific moment of the day, you have no time to sit and watch. So you're listening to it. So, and even if you have to take the subway, you already downloaded it, you're listening during your way, and then you are here. So when I'm arriving here, usually it's crazy.
I meet with the team?
Yes, I actually have a lot of meetings. We doing video, we doing podcasts, so sometimes I'm just jumping to like the video room to see how the team is doing, to the podcast room how the team is doing, to the edit room to see how the print magazine going, to the digital team to see like what is the exclusive of the day and what's happening, what's hot today that we need to cover.
So you don't stay in your office, you basically go and work with everyone, so everyone knows you.
Yes. And this is something, so once a week, we have our big editorial meetings. That's where we decide, okay, what will be our targeted content that's going to perform well. We're using a lot of data, so it's changing as well the shape of content because we know very specifically who is the woman that actually
And I know you love data.
Yes, I love data. I love data. Because it's how you learn about you. Who is she?
So who's the person reading this magazine today?
It's very interesting because when I arrived, I was thinking about the older audience. And actually, this is a real multi-generational audience. And this is also as well something that is very specific to the Caribbean. I think my grandmother is super trendy. My sister is super trendy. This is something that we have in our culture. So my grandmother, she's happy to have a fashion magazine. I will always remember, I had a lipstick, a Tom Ford lipstick. And I was like, arrived with my grandmother that live in Martinique. And she looked at the shade and she's like, I like this shade. And she's 90. And I'm like, yes. I was like, you don't need it to go back to New York, right? And I was like, Grandma, what do you want to do with a Tom Ford lipstick?
Maybe
I was like,
going to church.
She's going to church. Here we go. And I was like, okay, this church fashion thing, because this is a fashion moment. Church in the Caribbean, I have to say,
It's true.
it's a fashion moment.
On every island is the same thing.
Yes. And I was like, this is our own fashion week.
It is
This
true.
is our own. And it's like, okay, and you have no age to love fashion. And this is what actually, and it's why I think I feel so comfortable with the Essence brand, because this multi-generational aspect of
Millennials as well?
yes, it's in the magazine. Even Gen Z.
Oh, wow.
Even Gen Z. So when we look at the data, we are about 25%, 25%, 20%. It's really almost equal. So we are talking to every woman. And as well, it's why it's very important. When I did start, I was like, okay, I want to do the cover with the red
Yes, with Jada,
Jada, Willow, and Adrienne. It was because
was
of that
amazing.
you have like these 3 generations of women together on the cover to know like, okay, this is Essence.
Yes, and they also represented the new digital era because their show is on Facebook Live,
Yes.
and which I thought was amazing. And the idea that you had with the podcast is also something that touches different generation, like you say.
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell us more about what's coming, or it's a secret.
I can say
Okay.
that I'm working on a very, very Caribbean cover.
Ooh, this is the exclusive for Tempo. This is really great.
This episode of Caribbean Dream is brought to you by Flow.
A lot of time in previous years, maybe in 20 years ago, when you were from the Caribbean, you had a certain type of shame attached to it from the accent. I remember when I moved to Miami, at first when I went to school, they told me I will never be on TV because I had a French accent.
Yeah.
Remember Sidney Poitier, he had to take accent reduction classes.
Yes, yes.
And you have some actresses or some celebrities who don't even talk about the Caribbean heritage because it was seen as you being an immigrant and you don't know how to speak English, or your parents don't dress the same way or don't eat the same food.
Yeah.
How is that different for you? Did you have to go through any of those obstacles when you moved to the US?
Every day. Every day. Can you imagine? I'm now in charge of about 30 to 40 journalists that actually all African American, and I have a super strong French accent plus the Caribbean spice on top of it. So it's a lot for them, and but I'm comfortable with it. You know, you need to, and I think it's a great time in history because you can be who you want to be. You don't need to play a game. And I decide that even at the position, because to be for a woman now today to keep her authenticity in a C-suite position is something very challenging. But I decide that I will not compromise on that. Yes, I'm French Caribbean and from Martinique. It's a very small island. We have 400,000 people, so it's not a lot. But actually, this is what makes me special. So yes, you have to deal with it. It's just the way to do it. And I know that sometimes it can be challenging when it's come to go on stage and speak. But people have been very, very nice with me lately, and they've been like, it's her, and you have to take it like. And I'm sorry, Rihanna have a strong Barbadian accent, and it's all fine for everybody.
Yes, we're in your office right now, and you have on the wall different pictures of Caribbean women, celebrities, and a lot of them have Caribbean
accent.
Yes, it's true. You have Rihanna, Barbados. You have Naomi Campbell, Jamaica. You have Kerry Washington. We also have Jamaican roots as well, and they embraced their heritage. Is it for you difficult maybe to be a role model today, or do you want to be a role model for Caribbean young women growing up right now?
This is very interesting because I didn't try to be a role model. And I'm very surprised by the reaction from young women sending me message because I just doing what I love with passion, and I'm trying to help people around you. You always need to bring somebody with you, and it's when you have a success, you bring somebody with you, and I'm just doing what I love.
Is it also a value that you learn in the Caribbean, the fact of maybe welcoming everyone to your house, giving food, sharing your food to people? Is it something that maybe still transpires today in your work every day?
Every day. And even I have to say, like, I'm 100% Caribbean made, and I love to say like born, raised, and made in the Caribbean. And that from my food every day, that all my friends are like, okay, you can come to my place. Only one thing, you need to bring me spice from my country. If you bring me
what spice? Which one?
It's called dambeson. It's actually
it's
very spicy. It's called dambeson. It's from Guadeloupe.
Yes,
actually.
The little one, the orange one. Yes, I just got some to my friend in Miami.
Very strong. But if you want to come to my place, you need to come with that. If
That's the ticket to open the door. We'll remember that. The spice from Guadeloupe. I like.
So this is as well what I try to share with my son, and because American people never talk to each other, this is very special because they always like on their phone when everybody's working with the phone, so you don't look at what's outside. And then when you arrive in your apartment, when they close the door, they never will not knock at your door.
The neighbor,
do you have sugar?
Yes.
And
true.
Yeah, like this is not happening. And actually, I'm trying to break this cycle for my son that is living in the US. To say like, no, go to the neighbor and ask for, because I want to make something that
I would love to see the reaction. So your son's name is Tyron, right?
Yes.
He's 5 years old?
Yes, and my son is like, is very comfortable with that, and it's why I think my son, he did never really grow up in the Caribbean. Every time he's thinking that, okay, you ask him where he's from, he said, I'm from Martinique, and I'm like, oh, wow. You're living in New York, and he was like, nope. I'm from Martinique, and I'm like, it's amazing because it's about the culture, and it's the same thing at Essence. When they say like, I say no, it's not only about African American, it's about Black culture. And this is what we're sharing. We're sharing a culture, and this is what we want to spread. So we are very fortunate, and I still think that I will always keep a house in the Caribbean. I'm always staying at least 3 times a year in the Caribbean, and even if my work is not really like my schedule is always
like a work trip.
Yeah, it's a work trip. But I did find some solution. Oh. Because I didn't miss Carnival this year because I have a big board meeting with everybody at Essence, and that was the Sunday of Carnival. And I was like, okay, this is not going to work for me next year. So I was like, okay, Essence going to be partner of the Carnival next year.
Oh,
like this, I will have to be
news
because I will have to be on the ground for work. And this is the best solution I did find.
So let's talk about Carnival a little bit. You've always been a Carnival lover. You've been participating in Carnival. It's the same time than Trinidad and Guadeloupe Carnival because we follow the Catholic calendar. But you celebrate a different way.
Yeah, Carnival. So what's interesting with the Carnival in Martinique, that it's about, this is a free expression of artists. It's not like the Trinidad Carnival where everybody has the same costume. You have the opportunity to actually really create your costume yourself and telling your story. So I have a group of girlfriends, and that even we have a WhatsApp group where we share like Carnival content. So, and we are building our costume, and they are most of them are artists or mom, and so we have this really aspect of building to life stories and taking inspiration of what we have. The Diablesse, that is actually the evil.
Is it the white costume or the black and gold?
Yes, the black and gold costumes that we did, and we are going far. Meaning, like, We paint all over our bodies, and we are trying to share those stories with the carnival. And it's very interesting because this time of carnival, and it's why I think that actually is why I think white people are doing festival, is because this is the moment where you share, and everybody is the same. You don't have different caste or everybody. We are together in the street, dancing, drinking, enjoying, and that's just that.
And it's interesting what you just brought up, the different caste.
Yeah.
In Martinique, Guadeloupe, or in the different islands, we have different, I want to say segregation in a sense, which exists. Can you talk a little bit, maybe in Martinique, how does it work? Is it maybe based on skin color? Is it more an economical aspect? Or?
It's more today, it's more, so before that was on skin color, but the society has changed so much, and you cannot make a difference now because you can be Martinican, anybody in the room can be Martinican, so it's just ridiculous at the end of the day. I love when people say, oh, where are you from? I was like, I can be from anywhere.
And I like that answer. I like, still that answer.
It is not meaning anything. It's like today in the world, my husband is Chinese, French. My son, when you look at him, he looks like a little Indian boy. So you're like, he can be from anywhere. And so it's more about what you do in life, but what's interesting is like really those barriers are breaking during carnival. I love to say that when I meet the person that work at the bank and he's dressed like a Tahitian Viking,
Wow.
I was like, okay, I cannot look at it seriously when I'm going to the bank now. You cannot say to me no. I'm like, all right, seriously.
I know you during carnival time.
yeah. I've seen you. So it's very interesting, like to feel free at this moment of the year, and really, and when you look at the festival, people are doing at Afropunk or doing at all those big festivals, they change and they share, and the clothing and the makeup, it's very close of our carnival if you look at it.
It is true. And next year you would love Essence to be a part of that for maybe African American or any type of people, basically.
I think that that's the best way to experience Black culture, is to experience carnival, because you have every aspect of what make us Black, from the slavery to the from the slavery to what we are now in a modern way. You can embrace it during carnival, from the drums to the modern music. And the mix of, I love what you have from the drum, from the Jamaican music to the Trinidadian music to the Guadeloupe. Yes. So this is from the scent to appreciate your tradition and culture and put it in your costume as well, to go back to your roots. And this is always an exercise that I love to do. Our upcoming issues that I cannot reveal is actually about that, the roots, who you are, and your true self. And every time that I'm working in this magazine and I'm working on what the content of this magazine, I'm always thinking about how can I push the boundaries that we have. And for example, the Essence Escape, that was supposed to be a travel issue, became something about faith, because faith is part of your escape. And so it's always to bring these new layers of what to find yourself. The Caribbean stage now is very present at Essence and will be even more for next year. We are already working on something amazing. And everybody from the Caribbean need to fly over because it's going to be amazing. And this is true that we're trying to be this global platform for Black culture. And this is what makes this festival special. And this is what makes this brand special today.
And how is it received by your audience? Because you've been used to a certain type of focus throughout the years, and now as you can see more diversity, how is it the reception?
So far, so good. So far, so good. They are so excited. You know, when the content is good, the music is good, the food is good.
And June is a music month, correct?
Yes. When everything is good, what can you say?
True.
You're just coming, and you're just whining.
Definitely. Well, is that an invitation for this Essence Festival for everyone watching Caribbean Dream right now?
Yes, yes, totally. And this is very interesting because I have few people from Martinique that are actually flying to festival. And I was like, oh my God, how's it gonna do? Because we have no more the direct flight that we used to have to go to Martinique. But actually we have a flight to Miami, and you do in Miami, New Orleans, and it's very close. It's about not even 2 hours flight.
And I will go even further. Maybe those kind of events will also push a better way for us to communicate through our island and come to, for example, New Orleans for next year. That would be maybe
totally.
an idea to do.
Totally.
Perfect.
So yes, that's the next step.
I also know that you work with the Martinique Tourism Board here, that you're one of the ambassadors of Martinique. Tell me more about this.
Yes, this is true that I'm one of the international ambassadors for Martinique here in the US. So we did last year a luncheon with like all the media companies, the New York Times and everybody. I was able to be the only one speaking at this luncheon because I did design an hotel in Martinique. And Apolline Martinique. This is a hotel that I designed maybe 2 years ago. And so I do love my island, and I wanted to, same thing, it's about the experience of the island. So when I did design the hotel, it was not only about the hotel, it was actually about the music, the smell, everything. I did, like the plates.
Give me an example, something.
For example, we have fabrics that we use, all the curtains. I did some handmade tie and dye curtains with like broderie from the classic traditional gown of Martinique, and we did curtains for all the hotel with it. So it's always my inspiration daily, and I really do believe that even in the US, I think that we are missing a spotlight about every talent that we can have in the Caribbean. I think when it comes to fashion, when it comes to cinema, we have great directors there, art. So I will try to bring this scene a little bit more with the platforms that I have today. And this is what I've been doing and I'm keep doing every day. And now we are working our September issue. That is our biggest issue ever for Essence. It's the first time that we're doing a luxury premium 160-page magazine for Essence after 50 years, because this is the 50th anniversary of the brand.
Congratulations.
And for this issue, we have like half of the designers are from the Caribbean.
You're watching Moana's Caribbean Dream, and we'll be right back.
This episode of Caribbean Dream is brought to you by Netherlands Insurance, a policy to do more.
I would like to go back a little bit to your family. I know, so you have a son who's 5 years old. You've been married for 11 years as well. How do you manage this busy schedule and still be a wife, still be Moana, still be a mother?
I don't know.
Please tell me the secret.
I don't know. I just like, first is to be open-minded, and just to be easy. You cannot be, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be there.
But again, and definitely Martinique and Guadeloupe, we have the notion what we call potomitan. Potomitan is the woman, is like, she's the middle of the family, she has to do everything, she takes pride, she cooks, she cleans. And even in different islands, you have songs about, I cook, I clean, she's the perfect woman.
No, I don't cook, I don't clean.
Very good. And you're still the perfect woman.
And I would love to say that to my husband, because sometimes my husband is like, you want me to do more stuff? I'm like, you need to make choice. I can look good or I can clean the house. So we have two choices there. I cannot do both, but I need to make a choice at this point of the day.
And do you feel guilty about it? Because I know a lot of women, sometimes in working as entrepreneurs, they want to do everything. They want to be the mom who baked the cupcake and bring it to school. And
no, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. The only time that I'm cooking is actually it's for Caribbean food, because I love pâté salé. That is a little. It's something that. So I love to. Yes. So I love little details of the Caribbean food. So I will do it because I'm the one who know how to do it. First, my husband is a great cooker, so I don't want even to go there, like no competition. I'm like, you win.
That's
you
fine.
win, it's fine. I'm very good with my ordering things on my phone. It's working very well for me.
So you find some compromise between the two. You're good at this, so you do it, and I'm good at that, and I do it.
Yes.
Great.
I will take care of the interior design.
And that works like this.
That work like this. And you know, this is as well, you need to be, I love to say that, and I'm saying that in the journey issue, a free spirit. Meaning that stop to put pressure on yourself. Just try to do your best. And if your best is not enough,
Well, a lot of time when you say you have, for example, a young woman maybe sending you a message on Instagram, I want to talk a little bit about social media. Usually it's more the glamour of life. You see the pictures, the celebrity, the food, the travel. And sometimes they don't realize that for you to be here today with me on Tempo, it didn't happen overnight. You had to work hard, maybe more than 6 hours a day or 7 hours a day.
oh yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the obstacles or the challenges that you had to overcome to be here? Like,
First, there's no secret. It's about hard work.
yes,
Never give up. Work, 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 work.
work.
Yes,
Like
with
Rihanna.
Rihanna song it sounds better, but it's about work. And it's very interesting because when people are looking my social, they always think like my life is just like doing makeup, beauty, and red carpets. And actually, my life is doing like meetings and strategy and analyze data and going to, and it's crazy. And people are thinking as well that the fact of traveling so much, it's so fun. And actually, when I'm going in Los Angeles for one night, or I just missed, I was supposed to go in an event in Paris last weekend that I missed.
The Natural Hair
Academy. Yes, I was supposed to go there. And what happened, we have a little problem here with the printer, so I was not able to make it. But I was flying there just for one night. So taking the plane like at 12 a.m. and overnight going to the event during the day and fly back. So this is not what you call fun. This is, you're like, okay, and sometimes you just feel like, I want to go home. I want to sleep.
Eat a little pate.
Yes,
Just watch TV.
so this is only the glamorous side of it, but it's about sacrifice, it's about hard work, it's about believing in yourself, no matter what people are saying, because it's not been easy to be here because people did judge me because of what I look. So, you know, and I was like, if you're too pretty, and I'm not saying that I'm too pretty,
No,
but you cannot be a good business person or a good manager, so it's very challenging. So, and as well you need to, and working, and it's even, for me now, I'm working only almost like 90% of our staff are women. And I need to make them comfortable with themselves, to be like, it's not a competition. We are here to, it's a sisterhood. So this is a real day-to-day challenge.
Did you have to sacrifice anything that until today sometimes you wonder, oh man, if I didn't have sacrificed this, so maybe sometimes make you sad or make you have some regrets?
I never have regrets because I learned from everything that I did, even the mistake. This is very important, and if maybe missing the carnival this year was a bit like not the right choice.
I do understand. Some people will not understand, but I do understand you.
No, but joke apart, really is like every day that I've been working in my life, everything that I did fail sometime in thing, and it was fine because I did learn from everything that I've done. And every as well message that was not supportive did help me to go far, because I was like, I will show you now, I will continue to go up.
Did you have to face any maybe sexism? Because you have like an example, because I know sometimes people are watching us and they realize, oh, this is what's happening to me. Those people are never like, no, she looks so pretty, she works in New York and she never had to go through it. Any maybe example that you like to share, that any obstacle that happened to you and how you overcame it?
You know, this is very interesting because in the media anyway, and in the Caribbean media, when you're a woman, you're just supposed to be sometimes in the front of the camera. So when I wanted to go like and produce myself and do it myself, it was like quite challenging. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I can do it all.
Yes, because you photograph as well.
Yes.
You're behind the camera. You directed music videos as well.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can do it all. This is no, I can do if I want. And I love to say that do whatever you want.
And it's interesting
can
because
learn.
in France, I noticed that when you are plusieurs cordes à ton arc, when you know how to do different things, it's not seen the same way in the US. US like, oh my God, you know how to do this too, and they encourage you. Over there, it's like, tu es dispersé, you're not focused, you're
not
unstable,
focused.
you think you can do it all.
This is where the America is great.
Yes.
Because more you do, more excited they are. It's like, oh, you can do all of that? And I'm like, yeah, and it's cool for you?
Yes, because in
like,
France it's not.
in France, it's not in the culture. So, and it's very interesting because I'm keep learning as well in the US culture here every day. And I don't know if I'm the best, but I'm keep learning every day. And this is what keep me excited because I'm keep learning every day. And this is the experience of the life that I've been having. And I don't know what I will do in 10 years from now. And I don't know where I will be in 5 years from now. But for the moment, I'm here in New York. I'm doing my dream job. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a friend. I'm a hardworking. I'm kicking ass in my work.
Yes.
And I will continue to do so.
So this is basically Moana Luu's
Caribbean dream. Yes.
We will come full circle as we have to wrap up. Unfortunately, I know you have other issues of Essence to prepare, but we are going to come full circle and go back to the beginning. You started the interview telling us about you as a child, 6 years old, waking up in the middle of the night, putting your little legging on and your shoes and dancing. And I want you to imagine a little girl in Martinique right now who is watching this interview. What would you like to tell her? What would you like to share with her, with this little girl?
No dream are big enough. Keep always, when you dream it, do it. Dream another one, do it. Keep building on it. It's believe in who you are. Listen your inner voice because you always know. Deep inside, you always know what's right for you. And to be a Caribbean girl, this is your magic.
Well, this is your magic. You heard it here on Caribbean Dream. This was Moana Luu Caribbean Dream. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.
I will have to start to say that I'm feeling so blessed to be in this room today. And it will be a very special moment because that's the moment when, you know, your dream just hits you in the face. This is this moment for me.